When it comes to manifesting a specific person, I actually find the section where you aren't in contact or any form of interaction the easiest part of manifesting them. I'd go so far as to say that, for me personally, it is actually easy to manifest a specific person in those periods of time because I don't have anything to counter. Yes, I may have the odd thoughts of missing or wanting the text or wondering how they're getting on or how long it may take, but for me personally, that stuff is so much easier to deal with than when you're in contact or interaction, but they're not quite showing up how you want them to. So you have physical things in front of you that you have to stop yourself from reacting to. Physical things in front of you that show, hey, look, I'm halfway there or some other way there, but I'm not going to give you what you want, and things like that. And that's why in this video today, I want to talk about how I actually manifested my ideal relationship, but from the perspective of after the reconciliation. Because if you know my story, my reconciliation, or from breakup to reconciliation, wasn't that long. It was the period after where we had reconciled, but getting to a point where we were both happy and fulfilled in this relationship that was trickier for me and took the longest period of time. So I want to talk today about how I manifested my ideal relationship, even in spite of dealing with the harder part of manifesting a specific person. So starting off, obviously, like I said, the no contact section up until the reconciliation didn't take that long and was quite easy for me. I had a few thoughts come up and I dealt with them there and then, essentially. Oh, I wonder what she's doing. Doesn't matter, she's mine. I'll see her soon. Oh, I wonder if this is working. Doesn't matter, the law is always working. She's my specific person right now. Or I'm in a relationship with her right now. And essentially, I would just catch those thoughts and redirect them to something more positive. Obviously, work on myself, work on detaching, the usual spiel of manifestation. But then once we reconciled, there were still elements of myself that hadn't been fully improved in the way that I wanted. I.e., I would still have the odd insecure moment. I would still have the moments of miscommunication that could quite easily, had I not learned to control myself a little bit better, could have caused me to start an argument, or could have caused me to say something that would have had an argument started, and so on. So the way that I used manifestation, even in spite of all that, to create my ideal relationship was, of course, the usual stuff of circumstances do not matter. What's up here and in here does. So when there were moments of almost an argument or insecurities bubbling up or things that could have quite easily taken us back before the reconciliation, I'd have immediately jumped on them and just let my ego just go running rampant, using this 3D reality to say, this means something negative about you, respond, attack, freeze, flight, whatever my ego felt like doing in that moment. But once I had fully manifested this relationship and worked with myself a little bit better, I realized, of course, circumstances don't matter. Yes, she may be saying something that I'm not happy about, or something in a 3D is reflecting something that I'm not happy about. But these are circumstances created by previous thoughts, feelings, and assumptions that are just playing out now. Therefore, if I engage in them, I'm creating that perpetual cycle, or assisting and enhancing that perpetual cycle of something sucky shows up, react, create more of something sucky. Something sucky shows up again, react again, create more of something sucky, and keep going down that way. So what I did was I used the principles of manifestation to say, right, what's in front of me right now, I don't like. I can accept that I don't like this. But if I react to it, if I start allowing it to affect my thoughts, my feelings, and the actions that I take, then I'm just creating more of it. So instead, what I would do back then, I've changed my process slightly differently now, but not really by much. I've only really added breath work into my process since that point because I found it to be very useful. But back then, I would go, okay, I can see what's happening here. Is this what I want to experience more of? And if my answer was no, then I did the absolute best that I could to withdraw my attention and my energy from whatever was showing up. This quite literally looked like leaving the room and speaking again when I felt a little bit better. This quite literally looked like being more clear about the way that I was presenting myself and coming more from a calm, logical conversation starter point, as opposed to like an emotional outburst of, rah, 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 and blowing up. This is how I kind of stopped myself from engaging in this 3D reality more. But then from that point, what I did was I made use of the affirmations, the visualizations, and all of those kinds of things. I continued to affirm to myself that we were in a loving, passionate, and committed relationship. I continued to remind myself that this relationship was good for the both of us, and we're happy and healthy, that we feel safe and secure in this relationship, and so on and so forth. Essentially, I understood that what was out there in front of me at this moment, while yes, much better than what it was, and clearly on some form of bridge of events, birds before land, partial manifestation, whatever you would probably refer to this kind of situation as, where I got the reconciliation, but that wasn't the full end result. I understood that what was showing up in front of me, while positive, was presenting a problem. When it comes to manifestation, there's always a solution. And the solution should be the focus, never the problem. We don't want to look at the problem and consider a way to solve it. i.e., I'm in no contact right now, let me try to sort of create a way to create contact. Is that the end result? In most cases, no. We want the contact to go to a relationship. Ergo, the problem is lack of contact. The solution, or I suppose the problem is lack of contact / lack of relationship, because that's what the end result is. So the solution is the end result. So what I did, understanding this, I understood that the problem was whatever was showing up in front of me, the potential argument, the insecurity, whatever it is. And I understood that the solution to this was dwelling within the awareness of whatever it was that I'm dealing with having already been resolved. I.e., if it was an insecurity based on not feeling safe, for example, or not feeling secure, I am in a safe and secure relationship with Katie, or I feel safe and secure in my relationship with Katie. If it was something that made me feel like this relationship was still a little bit rocky, the solution and result, loving, passionate, committed relationship. So I went back to that space. And this is also what I did prior to the reconciliation as well. So the principles that I'm speaking about, you can use at any point in your manifestation process. But essentially, the way that I used manifestation to rebuild and create my ideal relationship was to understand that whatever I was dealing with in that moment, if it made me react in a negative way through my thoughts, my feelings, or my physical actions, that was the problem. Engaging in the problem only creates more of that problem. This means if you're not receiving contact and you're panicking about if you're not receiving contact and you're panicking about contact, you're focusing on the problem. If you're worried about how long it's been, you're focusing on the problem. If you're worried about whether or not they'll ever show up for you, you're focusing on the problem. If you're worried that this will even work for you, you're focusing on the problem. Now, in all of those instances, the solution is that it is already done now. Therefore, that's what your focus should become. So if you're in a situation and it's making you identify a problem, that's fine. You will never, ever be able to fully turn your attention away from the 3D reality, so much so that you don't even notice bad things happening to you. What will happen, the more that you improve, is you'll be able to identify something bad is happening and very quickly turn your attention away from it. It will never be a case that you'll walk through life just sunshines and rainbows and never notice anything negative happening. You'll just become accustomed to be able to understand that that is something negative, but shouldn't be your focus and how you should redirect it. So no matter where you are in your relationship manifestation right now, if a problem is presented, whether it's you thinking bad, feeling bad, something in the 3D has shown up in a negative way, you want to take actions that don't benefit you, understand that is the problem. The solution is whatever it is that you desire to experience having already being done. And therefore, you want to go to that space in your imagination. You want to go to a space of claiming that you are in that relationship, visualizing it if you prefer visualizing, writing down a description about how amazing your relationship is. I don't care. It's whatever helps you get there. And what this will do, the more consistent you are with going, okay, problems come to mind, solution is this, let me dwell in this instead and turn my attention away from the problem. The more that you do that, the more you'll build up within your mind not only the ability to do it easier, because you've become accustomed to breaking that old habit and creating a new one, which of course will make the process of manifestation easier, but you will also be feeding your subconscious mind the story of the solution being in play now. Considering your subconscious mind only goes off of what you are claiming to be true, not what is actually true. With consistency and persistence, your subconscious mind will have no choice but to take this solution, because that's what you've dwelled in more dominantly than the problems, and push the solution out for you to experience, i.e. push the relationship out for you to experience. This is exactly what happened to me. And like I said, but if I didn't, it was a couple of months from reconciliation to the point of pure fulfillment. And every single opportunity I had where the problem was presented, I removed myself from the physical things in front of me, because for me, the part of manifesting the specific person that I struggled with was when we were actually in contact and interaction. So I would physically remove myself from the situation and do something to calm my mind down, calm my body down and such things, and then focus on the solution. For you, if you find the part where you aren't in contact the hardest part, or maybe you're like me, doesn't matter where you are in your journey, the same thing applies. In your mind, you will have at least roughly, may not necessarily be like to the point, but you'll have a rough idea of that ideal relationship. You may never have experienced it before, you may not know how to describe it, but you've at least got, to a degree, something that you can say, if this happens, I'd be happy. If not, you probably have an idea where you can say, if this happens, I wouldn't be happy, and therefore you can take those things and create the opposite. For example, if they were to cheat on me, I wouldn't be happy, therefore I want a monogamous and loyal relationship. If they weren't to post me on social media, I wouldn't be happy, therefore I want a relationship where I'm posting on social media. Just as an example, you can use the inverse trick to figure it out. But every single one of you will hopefully have in your mind the ideal relationship. That ideal relationship is your solution to your current reality. So no matter where you are, whether you're struggling with the same things I struggled with in this video, or that I detailed in this video, or something completely different, the principles of this thing that I'm struggling with is the problem. If I focus on it and continue to focus on it, I create more of it, but there is a solution. If I start focusing on the solution, I create the solution. And then you can use those principles to say, okay, is this thing that I'm thinking, feeling, acting upon, or reacting to the problem, or feeding into the problem, or the solution, or feeding into the solution? If it's the problem, you grab your attention, you grab your awareness and say, fuck that, don't serve me. I'm going to focus on the solution. If it's the solution, you say, fuck yeah, I'm going to focus on this some more. And that's how you're going to build your ideal relationship, using the process of manifestation, using the same processes that I use to get my relationship. And yeah, hopefully it really makes a difference for you. But I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, drop me a like and a comment to let me know, and it pushes it out on the algorithm to help more individuals with this message. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be sure to click that bell icon. I haven't said it in a while because I don't really look at subscriber numbers anymore. I did when I first started the channel and started growing. I thought it was a really good goal, but as I've kind of gotten bigger as a channel, I don't look at it that much. But I had a few people point out that I hit 16,000 the other day. So I just wanted to say a big thank you to anyone who has got to this point of the video and has subscribed. Thank you so much for supporting me to get to 16,000 subscribers. It is greatly appreciated. And I hope I can continue bringing this kind of level of content and in-depth message, whether I'm at 160 or 160,000 or 1,600,000 and going up in tens. So yeah, thank you very much for the support. If you do need any help, down below in the description is the links to my services. They are available to anyone that needs them, and I'd be more than happy to give you a hand with your situation. But thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.